Larson, your host for the Larson Health Podcast. So, welcome today. We're going to bridge the gap between science, nutrition, and functional medicine to help you heal from the inside out. So, I'm Kim Larson. I'm a certified functional nutrition coach, a fast like a girl coach, and founder of Larson Health Weight Loss. Here we talk about real health transformation, how food, fasting, and lifestyle can change your hormones, your metabolism, and longevity. And in a healthy way, not in a fast decline or long decline. And if you're ready to take your health to the next level, visit larsonhealthweightloss.com to learn about my personalized programs, hormone supportive meal plans, and one-on-one for functional nutrition coaching. So I want to talk to you today about, statins and what the true science is behind all about statins. So let's talk, about encounters at some point, how statins, usually the story begins, with a routine doctor visit, a blood test, and then the moment when, ooh, why am I suddenly blurred? Hello. That's kind of weird. I don't know why that's happening. Anyway, today I want to talk about the topic that almost everyone encounters at some point in the statins. Usually the story begins with a routine doctor visit, a blood test, and then the moment when the doctor says, you need a statin. And for a lot of people, that one sentence triggers worry, confusion, or even fear. Let me try to figure out what's going on here. Maybe I need to wipe my screen a little bit. That's better. You need statin. And for a lot of people, that one sentence triggers worry, confusion, or even fear, right? You leave the office worrying, like, was this medication, what does this medication really do, right? Whether it's risky, whether it's necessary, whether you'll be on it for the rest of your life. So today I want to give you something different. I want to give you a little more clarity around this subject. There's no pressure, no hype, not the fear-driven TikTok versions where statins are portrayed as dangerous, and not the old school approach where every adult over 50 gets one without question. I want to give you a grounded, balanced understanding of when statins truly help, when they may not make much difference, and what you can do naturally starting today, right? So, to lower your risk of heart disease, whether you take a statin or not. Let's begin with the foundation. What statins actually do. So statins work inside the liver by blocking an enzyme that your body uses to produce cholesterol. When you slow down that production, the liver starts pulling LDL particles out of your bloodstream. But statins are doing more than just lowering LDL. Over decades of research, we've seen that they reduce inflammation inside the blood vessels, help the vessel lining work more smoothly, and stabilize existing plaque. So it's less likely to rupture and reduce clot formation. That combination is what makes statins so powerful for the right person. And that brings us to the group where statins are the most undeniably helpful, people who already have cardiovascular disease. If you've had a heart attack, a stent, bypass surgery, or a stroke, or if a coronary artery calcium scan has shown plaque, statins consistently lower the risk of future events. And this is one of the strongest, most repeated findings in cardiology. When plaque is present, statins reduce the chance of something happening again, sometimes uh, by a significant margin. So that is secondary prevention, and it's the clearest scenario where statins make a meaningful difference. Most people I talk to are not in that category. They're somewhere in the middle. No heart attack, no stroke, just a doctor concerned about cholesterol or family history. And that's where things get more nuanced, because now we're talking about primary prevention, preventing the first event like a heart attack or a stroke. In this group, the benefit of a statin depends heavily on your baseline risk. If your baseline risk is high, maybe due to diabetes, high blood pressure, high ApoB, or metabolic dysfunction, a statin can be meaningful to reduce your chance of having a heart attack or a stroke. But if your risk is low, if your inflammation is low, if your metabolic health is good, and your arteries show no plaque, the absolute benefit becomes much smaller. That's where the internet gets really loud. You'll hear people saying statins only help a tiny number of people. That statement is often taken out of context. But the kernel of the truth is, in people with low baseline risk, the number of people who need to take a statin to prevent one event is very high. But in people with moderate or high risk, that number drops dramatically. So the issue isn't that statins work or don't work. It's that statins work more meaningfully for some people than others. This is personalized medicine, not a one size fits all approach. So before we talk about what you can do naturally to lower your risk, we need to touch on the risks of statins themselves because you deserve honesty, not sugarcoating. So the biggest risk of diabetes the biggest concern is the increased risk of diabetes. Statins can slightly raise blood sugar and tip some people into type 2 diabetes, particularly if they're already insulin resistance. Muscle pain is the next big concern. The interesting thing is that in clinical trials, real muscle injury is rare. But out in the real world, many people report aches and soreness. Some of that is due to expectation and the nocebo effect. So, but some of it is individual biology, right? So people respond differently to different statins, and often switching the medication or adjusting the dose completely resolves it. Also, liver issues are extremely rare, and the concern about memory loss hasn't been supported by large studies. So, this all comes down to balance. What's the benefit for you? And what are the risks for you? And to answer that, you need more than just an LDL number. This is where I encourage listeners to go to their medical appointments informed and empowered. Here's the one list you actually want to bring to your clinician. So get your pen and paper ready because I'm going to share the questions that you need to ask your clinician, because these are the markers that allow you to assess your true risk. So ask your doctor about your ApoB level or your LPA level, your inflammation markers like HSCRP, a coronary artery calcium scan, a CAC scan if you're over 40 or if your risk is unclear, and your true 10-year ASCVD risk, which using these expanded markers, not just LDL. Once you have these numbers, the decision becomes much clearer. If your calcium score is 0 and your ApoB is well controlled, your risk might be lower than your doctor assumed. But if your CAC score shows plaque or your ApoB is high despite healthy habits, then the benefit of a statin becomes much more compelling. So now I want to shift into a piece that matters whether or not you take a statin. What you can do naturally to lower ApoB, calm inflammation, and dramatically improve your cardiovascular health. This is where lifestyle and functional medicine shine. And this part often gets ignored in traditional medicine settings, even though it holds enormous power. ApoB doesn't just go up because of cholesterol in food, it goes up because the liver becomes insulin resistant. When insulin stays high, something that happens with elevated stress, poor sleep, too many refined carbs, excess snacking, or hormonal changes in midlife for mostly women. The liver begins pushing out more ApoB particles. And this is why weight loss, improved blood sugar control, and healthy fatty liver often lead to significant improvements in ApoB without ever touching a medication. And movement plays a huge role here too. Post-meal walking lowers blood sugar, which reduces the liver's need to make excess particles. Just go for a 10-minute walk after you have a meal, and this will help you lower your blood sugar. And I always try to eat in the order of, I got this from the glucose goddess. So she says eat vegetables first because that helps coat your stomach. Then you want to eat your proteins and your carbohydrates, other than, if you're going to have a potato or you're going to have some carrots. Um, and then you can have your dessert afterwards. And that's typically how we used to eat, before. So if you want to have that bite of a cake, a bite of a cake, a bite of something like that, of a sweet. But if you can avoid having a sweet, avoid having a sweet. My website at larsonhealthweightloss.com has tons of great recipes for desserts that will not cause inflammation. So check it out. I have brownies, I have uh, pumpkin muffins, I have all kinds of great recipes out there. There's hundreds of them. So post-meal walking lowers your blood sugar, which reduces the liver's need to make excess particles. And strength training also improves muscle mass, and muscle is where glucose gets cleared. More muscle means better insulin sensitivity. And better insulin sensitivity means your liver isn't forced to produce as many ApoB particles. I've seen clients lower their ApoB by 15 or 20% purely from improving insulin sensitivity. Inflammation is another powerful piece of the puzzle. A plaque that is inflamed is more dangerous than one that is stable. So when you prioritize sleep, reduce sugar, eliminate processed seed oils, and get enough omega 3s, you calm the inflammatory environment that drives heart disease. Omega 3 fatty acids, whether from salmon, sardines, or high quality supplements, have direct anti inflammatory effects and can reduce triglycerides and improve lipid particle quality. I can tell you that I take an omega 3 fish oil, I drink it in a shot glass with water, and I'm at the 1 percentile for omega 3 within the United States. And it really has helped with brain fog. It has helped with joint pain. I don't have joint pain anymore. I have gone into an anti-inflammatory diet, and that really does help my body heal itself. I can run up and down the stairs now, whereas before I used to have arthritis in my right knee. I used to have arthritis in my neck, and now I can crack my neck just by twisting it, or bending it. And fiber also is really helpful from leafy greens, vegetables, chia seeds or flax seeds. This all helps improve recycling. Now, I get my fiber literally from my broccoli, my green beans, my Brussels sprouts. That all helps with the fiber that you need. So I put chia seeds in my breakfast and flax seeds so that I'm getting, and I get organic berries that I have frozen, and I let them thaw out before I put them in my breakfast. So they're thawing out right now. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. So anyway, these fibers, especially from leafy greens, vegetables, and chia or flaxseed, help improve the cholesterol recycling. And polyphenols, the compounds in berries, herbs, spices, dark chocolate, meaning 70% or greater, extra virgin olive oil, and tea support endothelial health and reduce oxidative stress. And fasting plays a unique role in this as well. You don't need extreme fasting. Like I'm getting ready to do a 3-day fast before the holidays, and then I'll do a 2-day fast after the holidays to just kind of really clean things up, right? We had Halloween, we had a lot of, we had a party. There was a little bit of, I had a cocktail, I had some candy, I had some things that I shouldn't have. And sure enough, I could tell that how my body was acting, from my digestion to my skin to everything, that I had eaten things that weren't the healthiest for me. It doesn't mean that you can't occasionally have it, but we had a lot. So so you don't need extreme fasting protocols to make an impact. Sometimes shortening your eating window by even an hour or two, or closing the kitchen after dinner, is enough to lower insulin levels and begin repairing fatty liver. I can tell you that I try to eat my breakfast. Sometimes I'll eat it first thing in the morning if we're gonna, like, get on the road and go driving somewhere. But a lot of times, like, on a Saturday like this, I'll do my podcast at 10 AM Eastern. It'll end somewhere around 10:30, 10:45, maybe 11 o'clock. I'll start to make, my breakfast. I'll break my fast. Last night, I had my dinner at around 3:30, because I had to run and I had to go I got my hair done. So by getting my hair done, I was there till 6:30 and I didn't want to eat at 6:30. So I made sure that I had some grilled chicken tenders, I had some broccoli, I had some green beans. So I had about 7 ounces of chicken, and then I had, probably about 2 cups of vegetables, and that was it. And then the time that I'd eaten before that was I'd had my breakfast at around 11:30, and that was a big breakfast. I had cottage cheese, it was organic cottage cheese, organic Greek yogurt, organic berries, chia seeds, flax seeds, some protein mix, some peanut butter protein mix, some, grass-fed, organic, peanuts, peanut powder and grass-fed, whey protein, and that's it. So and some avocado. I put in half an avocado for some healthy fat. So those are the 2 meals that I really get in the day, and I really get a nice long fast. But if you feel like you need to eat 3 meals a day, just try to cut out the snacking. It used to be that you wanted to eat 5 meals a day. You don't need to eat 5 meals a day, trust me. What your body really needs is to get more fasting. So, intermittent fasting is really great to help your body. 17 hours is about where you start to get autophagy happening. And that's where things start to go and clean up all your cells. I talked about this last week. If you can fast for longer, then fast for longer. 24 hours, is a really good fast. When you start getting into 36 hours, you start to, build stem cells. 48 hours, you really are cleaning up your body, you're cleaning up all your cells. 72 hours is a great fast. You gotta be drinking there's some specific things that you should be consuming. So if I can go into a whole podcast about that. But if you need any help, just reach out to me and I can help you with how to fast properly for your hormones or for your postmenopause. It's more free. So fasting plays a unique role in this as well. You don't need extreme fasting protocols. Shortening your window is enough. When the liver gets a break from constant glucose processing, its ability to manage cholesterol improves dramatically. And of course, stress. Chronic stress raises cortisol, so which drives blood sugar, inflammation, and blood pressure. That's a triple hit to cardiovascular health. Calming the nervous system, whether through deep breathing, and that's just so you want to make sure you're doing this when you're sitting down because you could get lightheaded by doing it. I've tried it standing up and it can make you really lightheaded. Also meditation. I meditation when I meditate, I actually fall asleep. So what I do is I meditate at night or I can meditate in the morning because I won't fall asleep right after waking up. But I meditate at night and it helps me fall asleep right away. And then nature exposure, right? Get out in the morning, go for a walk in the morning. The early morning sunlight is the best. Now, today is a very great day here, but I still went out. I walked the dogs. I spent about 20 minutes out outside, even though it's gray. It's just to get that nature exposure is so important. And simply just getting consistent sleep, right? I try to go to bed by 10 o'clock and then I'm up by around 6 or 7 o'clock. So, depending on, like last night, I didn't get to bed till 11. I was working on stuff for some new branding that I've got going on, some new products that I'm making. And I was up a little bit late. So, but you can have measurable effects on inflammation and metabolic markers by getting good sleep. Be on a regular schedule. Just put yourself on a regular schedule. Stop watching TV. Stop looking at your phone. You've probably heard this a million times, but if you haven't, the effects of having all of that light into your eyes late at night, you want to stop at least 2 hours before you go to bed. I also stopped drinking water about uh, probably 2 hours before I go to bed because I don't wanna have to wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. So all this is to say, yes, statins have a place, and for the right person, they save lives, but lifestyle is not optional. Lifestyle is the foundation, and in many cases, lifestyle determines whether medication is needed at all. So I don't take any statins, I don't take any medication other than hormone replacement therapy. And I can tell you that by eating a healthy lifestyle, I don't have to take medications because once you take one medication, that has side effects. And once you take another medication for that side effect, that one has some other side effects. So then you need another medication for that. Okay, there goes my thing again. Anyway, I don't know why it's do I need to come closer, go further away? There we go. In many cases, lifestyle determines whether medication is needed at all and how much medication is needed or how well that medication works. If there's one message that I want to leave you with today, it's this: you are not powerless in this process. You're not at the mercy of one lab result. You have influence through how you eat, how you move, how you sleep, and how you manage stress. And even if you do take a statin, these natural strategies enhance the benefit and protect your long term health. And if you don't take a statin, these strategies become even more important. So the next time someone tells you you need a statin, you can respond with confidence. Let's look deeper. Let's review my APOB, my LPA, my inflammation markers, and my imaging. Let's understand my true risk before making a decision. This is how you take ownership of your health with knowledge, not fear. So make sure that you're asking your doctor about these different needs that you might have. So I want to, make sure that I share with you that, listening to the Larson Health podcast, it'll be helpful to do that. And you can catch me on, Spotify, and you can watch the full episodes on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. I also share behind the scene insights, recipes, and short clips on Instagram and TikTok. So make sure to follow along. You're gonna be able to see a lot of great details about, recipes on my website. There's workouts on my website. There's workouts on YouTube. There are, recipes on Facebook and Instagram. Snippets of my podcast on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. And all of these are sharing healthy insights with you that will be really, really helpful. This podcast is sponsored today by larsonbotanicals.com. Larson Botanicals provide hormone supporting skincare, candles that are non toxic, lip balm, face serum, face creams, beard oil, numerous products that are helping you with your hormones. And it smells great because it's all made with organic essential oils. All the ingredients are organic and really good for you. And thank you for the sponsorship from larsonbotanicals.com. If you need to reach me, you know how to reach me at larsonhealthweightloss.com. And thank you for joining me today.